Hare Krishna. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay. So I am actually not in Mumbai. I am outside Mumbai. I had come to a place called Urli Kanchan near Pune for a kind of a detox, thing. I'm here for a week, and I'll be back on Monday. So I don't have any other appointments. It's just that there's a lot of medical treatment going on daily. So during the day there are many things. Therefore, it gets a little tight. But Prabhuji I'd suggested to Prabhuji this date, and I'd forgotten that I'm here. But I said that we have time in the afternoons. That's why I said let's have it. So thank you once more to the devotees, for giving me an opportunity to serve you again, and very grateful that I could be here today again. And my bandwidth is low. I'm on dial-up, so it may be a little poor. And my apologies if we keep getting disconnected or something like that. But I'll try my best to speak. If the bandwidth is really low, then maybe I'll switch off video and I'll move back to audio. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Hare Krishna. So before I start, I wanted to share.
Can you please unmute, mute everybody else except Prabhuji?
Okay, Prabhuji.
So I want to start with this. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What do you see?
Zoom.
Okay.
Zoom 46 in your reach.
Let me share again. Yeah, now you should be able to see my screen. Has something come up?
Yes.
Okay.
Dog and swimming pool.
Yes, so I'm just going to play this video. Let's see how well it plays with all the, with all the bandwidth constraints. I'll switch off my video for the time being so that this can be heard and watched by all of you. Okay. I want all of you to just observe the video very carefully. Okay, we're going to discuss the contents of the video after this. All right, so everyone saw that video?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so what is the one attribute that you would apply to that dog? What is that one quality or attribute you would apply to that dog after seeing that video?
Perseverance and ultimate achieving of the goal.
Okay, what else?
Hare Krishna. So it is like ocean where somebody is trying to put him out, but he wants to go again inside in that.
Okay.
You can say it is like a ocean of death and birth, if you can compare it.
If you can apply a quality to that dog, just one quality, one word, what would that one word be? What quality did that dog show?
Try and try until you get success.
Okay.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Okay, what else? Persistence.
Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm of the dog.
Enthusiasm. Okay, what else?
Enthusiasm, patience, and determination.
So
Determination.
persistence, if you look at that dog, what quality that dog is showing, it is extremely persistent. It just doesn't give up. It just keeps on trying to get into that swimming pool, and till the very end, it doesn't stop, right? Till finally the owner gets tired and says, "Chal yaar, theek hai," right? So he allows the dog to get into the water with him. So the quality that is demonstrated by that dog is what we call persistence. Now, my hypothesis is that this kind of persistence we also need to show in bhakti. Okay, because bhakti, and we'll get into the because actually, but like in our in this video, you saw that there's a dog, okay, and that dog is trying to get into the water, and the owner keeps on throwing him out. Okay, the moment he enters, tries to enter, he's thrown out. He again tries to enter, again he's thrown out. He tries from a different path. He comes from behind, but still, the owner doesn't allow. He keeps throwing him out, and finally, after 4 or 5 times of continuous CA, finally the owner gives up and he comes in. So in this video, the dog is us. Okay, we are the dogs. At least we should be like that dog, and we should be persisting, because that water. What does that water represent? Anybody? What does the water of that swimming pool represent? If we claim that we are devotees, what does that water represent?
Devotional service.
Devotional service. Okay. Anything else?
The Bhagavad Dham.
Bhagavad Dham. Okay. Water. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That is the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which the aspiring sadhaka is trying to get into. Then who is the person who keeps throwing him out?
Maya.
Maya is the person who keeps on throwing him out. He's trying to get in the water, but Maya keeps throwing him out. Why does she throw us out? Because we are not qualified. We are not qualified. We don't belong there. If you see that owner, he must be very fond of that dog, but why he's not allowing the dog in the swimming pool? Because that swimming pool, the dog doesn't belong there. The dog doesn't belong there, but the dog wants to be there. So he keeps throwing him out, that you're not qualified. Out. Like how many times? At least 8, 10, 12 times he throws out the dog. But the dog keeps coming back. So finally what happens? Maya says, chalo yaar, theek hai chal. Itna persistent hai to aaja, right? And he gives up. He gives up and he allows the dog. And the dog is swimming very nicely in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Now, this is very nice on paper and everything to discuss. In reality, is actually quite the opposite. We are not really persistent like that dog. But the point I'm making is, we need to be like that dog. Bhakti. In bhakti, this persistence is very, very important. It's very important for us to persist like this dog in our sadhana bhakti. So I want to just discuss with you all. I want to understand. Let's just discuss this for a moment. What is the need for this persistence in bhakti? Why bhakti we have to be like this dog? Keep on trying. Why? What is the need for that? Anybody? Everyone can switch on their videos. It will be very nice. Huh? I'm not going to complain if you all switch on your video. Video kyun chalu kiya? I'll be happy if you start your video. All of you can start your videos if you are in position to do it. If you're not, then that's fine. Thank you. So what is the need for this kind of persistence in bhakti? Anybody would like to share any thoughts?
This is the only way.
Sorry, one at a time. Yeah. Mataji?
This is the only way to achieve Lord Shri Krishna. If we do not persist, we do not keep on having this. So if there is a need to have God, need to have the love of God, it is important we should keep trying again and again and again.
Okay, very good. So without persistence, we cannot get love of God. Great point. Anything else?
I'm linking it with the Damodar Leela, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mother Yashoda kept on trying to tie Krishna, and he would not let that happen. And until and unless the Bhakta succeeded. So that is what Mother Yashoda also displayed. So
Very nice.
we
Wonderful.
need to follow.
Any other examples that come to mind of persistence? Anybody? Okay, we'll come back to the examples. First, let's finish this. Why? What else? I mean, why do we want to persist in bhakti? Mataji said, because if we want Krishna, we need to persist. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Any other thoughts? Why we need to
Hare
persist?
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Even this in material world, if you want to achieve anything, it's like if somebody wants to crack IIT, so he has to very, very persistent. So now here we are aiming the highest thing. There is nothing is better than this nectar of devotion. So if you want to achieve that, so you have to be persistent. There is no doubt about it. For a small material achievements, means you have to be very, very consistent, very, very perseverant, very, very. So here, when you are asking for something which is the topmost, so we have to be persistent. There is no other goal.
Good point. Very good point. In the mundane material world, if you're trying to persist for something, if you're trying to achieve something difficult, you know, to really work hard, persistent, you know, it will be very persistent. Otherwise, you'll not achieve it. You may still not achieve it, but if you don't persist, so definitely you will not achieve. When you're talking about the highest goal, Prema Pumartho Mahan, the highest goal in the entire creation, which is love for Krishna. If you want to persist on that, if you don't persist on that, you're not going to achieve it. Yeah, great point. Anything else? Anybody? Why do we need to persist in bhakti? So one thing is, by our persistence, okay, we show both Krishna and Maya that we are serious about attaining Krishna's lotus feet. See, otherwise what happens is, if we keep giving mixed signals, you know, to Krishna and Maya, that sometimes I'm a devotee, sometimes I'm a full-on karmi, and sometimes, you know, there are gaps in my devotional service for weeks together, months together. I'm doing, but I'm not doing. You know, I'm there, I'm doing the activities, but there is no, there is no intensity, there is no enthusiasm, there's no commitment. Then, you know, we're sending mixed signals to Krishna and Maya. Is he a devotee? Is he not a devotee? It becomes very confusing. Krishna is very clear. He is very clear, but it's confusing for, you know, for others. Other devotees also get confused. Ki, Baba, ye kya kar raha hai? What is this person doing? Is he a devotee or is he not? You know, he's sitting on the fence. What is it? But when we are persistent, despite the fact that Maya will keep throwing curveballs at us, she'll keep throwing challenges at us, she'll keep making our life very, very difficult to, you know, to continue our bhakti. She'll throw, you know, difficult situations at us. Sometimes, you know, while we are chanting, we'll see that it's almost impossible to focus. So what do? Do we just keep our beads aside? Hey, it's not working out, yeah, I'll chant later, right? Or we say, no, I will persist. I will try. Doesn't matter. Even if I'm feeling sleepy, I'll somehow get up and I will chant. I'll do whatever it takes, but I won't leave. I won't stop my bhakti. So if we are persistent in our bhakti, we are telling Maya, no matter what you do, no matter how many times I fail, I will keep trying. I will not give up. I remember, you know, maybe I'll say it at the end. Just put it here, so I don't forget it. A beautiful example that had been given by Braj Bihari Prabhu some time back, but I'll cover that in the end. So one thing is, by persistence, we show both Maya and Krishna that we are serious about bhakti. I'm not here because, you know, I have been given some position over here. Outside society, I didn't have a position. Here I'm getting position, so I am here. Or because I have got a lot of friends here, you know, यहाँ पे अच्छा vegetarian food मिलता है. Yeah, whatever it is, you know, if we are in bhakti for the wrong reasons, then, you know, naturally you know, we're telling Krishna that, bhai, I'm not so serious. But if we're very persistent, we tell Krishna we're serious. Second reason, okay, if we are not persistent, what happens? Immediately we will slip in bhakti. You know, as we say that, you know, bhakti is like a upward slope, right? We say, you know, progress in bhakti is like going a upward slope. Now, upward slope means what? You know, you have to keep moving. If you stop, the gravity will take you backwards. So bhakti is like that. You have to be persistent. If you stop for any reason or you slow down for any reason, you know, Maya will again drag you back. And interesting point is, even if you are not persistent, no, even if you are not persistent, Maya is very persistent. She is very strong. She is very persistent. She will never stop tormenting us. Once in one lecture by His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj, yeah, you know, the title of that lecture was Maya knows your ins and outs. You know, Maya knows your ins and outs. So he had spoken about that how Maya knows everything. She knows your weakness, and she'll know how to, you know, present that weakness to you at the most appropriate moment, so that, you know, you say, "Arey chodo yaar, ye apne ko jam nahi raha hai, no, let me give this up." So even if you are not persistent, Maya is very persistent. So that is another reason for you to be persistent, so that you can keep going. You know, you don't stop for any reason. Third reason for being persistent, another, I mean, of course, the first 2 or 3 reasons that you all gave, I'm giving a few more. So another reason for being persistent in bhakti is persistence ensures that we make steady progress in bhakti. Okay. Because in the process of bhakti, when we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are associating with devotees, we're trying to follow the 4 regulative principles, we're doing all these things. You know, we are trying to keep moving forward, right? As we said, the slope, keep moving forward on the slope. And sometimes you may have setbacks. You will have setbacks. It's not sometimes. Often you may have setbacks. You may have, you know, major obstacles that come your way, you know, which block your bhakti, make bhakti very difficult for you to follow. So many challenges may come in our life, you know, when we're trying to follow a spiritual path. However, interesting thing is that if we are persistent, you know, we may move, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, but again 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So by and by, over a period of time, we make steady progress. We keep moving forward, and Krishna likes this. The Supreme Lord is he's very happy when he sees this kind of persistence. He gives his mercy to the devotees who show persistence. So now let's get to some examples. Anyone has any examples? There are lots of examples of devotees showing persistence in the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Chaitanya Charitamrita, whichever ones you can think of. Any examples of persistence? I'm just trying to keep all of you awake because it is afternoon session. So yeah, any ideas? So some videos have gone off again. I hope you can switch it on again. But anyway, any thoughts about you know, what are the examples of persistence in Shastra?
Hare Krishna.
Dhruva Maharaj, who have dedicated 7 days and 7 nights and persistently meditated upon the Lord.
Yeah, Dhruva Maharaj. It was not 7 days, 7 nights. It was actually 6 months, 5 months.
6 months, yeah, 6 months.
6 months, but still, that 6 months is also not, even 7 days, 7 nights is not there, not easy. Persistence. Okay. Any other examples? Good example. Any others?
And one example from Chaitanya Chaitanya, that one devotee of Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu Mukundat, I believe, that he was told that he will get Mahaprabhu's mercy after million of births. But even after hearing that, he was very happy and started dancing. And they said, "Why you are dancing?" He said, "Oh, I'll get it down. Mahaprabhu has assured me." So then Mahaprabhu was very happy to see that, and he got the mercy immediately. So he was
very nice. So what is the
ready
persistence over there? What is the persistence over there?
Means he's ready to wait for millions of this thing and to keep continuing his bhakti for millions of lives.
Exactly. So he's saying that I will persist in bhakti. I'm not discouraged. You're telling me 1 million births. I'm encouraged by that, right? This is persistence. So anyone else would say 1 million births, jane do boss. I'll see you after 1 million births. Bye-bye. Right? But no, he is encouraged. This is the crazy mentality of devotees. They're crazy, half crazy, right? Outside world calls us half crazy, no? The fact. So if you see Mukunda, he's half crazy. He's saying that after 1 million births, he's encouraged. He's dancing in ecstasy. I will see. And after 1 million births, I will finally get to see my Lord. So he's very happy. Why? Because he knows I will persist. My Lord, see, this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. No, Ashishyava padaratam pinashtumam adarshana marmahatam karotuva yata tatha vavidadatu lampato mat prananathastu sa evanaparaha. He says that, my Lord, whether you embrace me or you kick me or you push me away, leave me broken hearted, just ignore me, whatever you do, I am your servant unconditionally. I will never give up your lotus feet. Persistence, right? So it's very important. Yes. Any other examples? Any other thoughts?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj, okay. Yes. Any others? Come on, Ramayana. Anything from Ramayana? Story of Shabri.
Shabri, I was about to know. Shabri.
Yeah. Anyone knows how Shabri was persistent? See, Shabri is more famous for that Shabri ke bear, which actually doesn't even come in Valmiki Ramayana, best of my knowledge. It's, I think, from, Lok Katha. But it's a very beautiful story. Shabri is known best for that. But if you see in Valmiki Ramayana, what is mentioned, Shabri, she was, serving her guru. I forget her guru's name. But she was serving her guru with great intensity, very, very sincerely. Every day she would clean the ashram, she would make garlands, she would prepare paraphernalia for the yoga, for the yajna, everything she was doing. But one fine day, her guru said, all right, now I am leaving. Leaving means going back to Godhead. Okay. And she also wants to come, but he says, no, you wait. He says, you wait, because Lord Ram and his brother Lakshman will come here. So when they come here, you have to be here to welcome them. So you please wait. And he goes. He doesn't even tell her wait for how long. Matlab, will he come this week? Will he come next week? Will he come tomorrow? Will he come next month, next year, next decade, next century? Kuch malum nahi. He just said he will come. And he goes. And Shabri doesn't flinch for a moment. She every day she cleans the ashram. She sets up very beautifully, her guru's, altar. She offers, arti. She does her sadhana. She does everything very sincerely every day. God knows how many years, how many decades, or centuries went by. She kept doing it. And one fine day, Lord Ram comes. So the fruit of this persistence is that the Lord actually came and gave darshan. The fruit of persistence of Dhruva, the Lord came and gave darshan. The fruit of persistence of Prahlad, Lord Narsingadev manifested from a pillar. The fruit of persistence of Mukunda, what? The Lord had told him 1 million lifetimes. It didn't even last 1 million seconds. He called him back, you come back, I want to embrace you. And he embraced him. So this is the, persistence. The Lord is very pleased if we are persistent. Okay. Any other examples before we move on? Any other thoughts? Bhagavatam is full of stories of persistence. Every single character practically is persistence only. Look it up. Okay. Look it up after this. You can look up this thing. Another reason to be persistent in bhakti, okay, it is very inspiring for devotees if you are persistent. Now you say, how is it? मैं persistent है तो दूसरों को क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है उससे, right? What difference is it making? No, it certainly makes a difference, right? Like I remember one time. This is many years back. I used to do announcements in the temple, Radha Gopinath temple. After the Sunday feast, I used to do the announcements. And in that, every Sunday after the Sunday feast lecture, I used to give the announcements. So once another devotee, he told me that, there was this devotee I was talking to. So he was telling me about you. I said, Acha, what was he saying? He said, no, he said he's very inspired by you. I said, do I know this devotee? So he told the name. I said, no, I don't know this person. So he said, no, you may not know him, but he knows you. I said, how? He said, no, he told me that this Sridhama Sakha, he comes to this temple every Sunday. हर संडे वो मंदिर में रहता है, तो आई सी हिम एवरी संडे, so I feel inspired. Okay, this person is so regular, I should also become regular. And I was like, my God, just imagine if I was not regular, right? I was regular because I had a service, otherwise maybe I wouldn't be so regular. But just the fact that I had a service and I was coming regularly, this person was just seeing me from a distance and somehow feeling inspired कि अरे ये कितना रेगुलर है यार, हर संडे ये रहता है, मेरे को भी आना चाहिए. If I was not there, imagine if I was not there for 2 or 3 Sundays and this person is looking at me and coming and he doesn't see me, he will feel कि अरे ये तो आना बंद कर दिया, मैं भी नहीं आऊंगा. So what is the responsibility that we carry? Sometimes we don't know whom we are inspiring or whom we are hurting by our, by our persistence or by our lack of persistence in our bhakti. We don't know. So therefore, sometimes just by being persistent, by being consistent, you may not be some fantastic, devotee who's chanting like very nicely, doing very good kirtan, very good lecture, very good deity worship. You may not, you may be a very ordinary person, but just the fact that you're there, on this panel now, we have how many? 15, including me. So 14 of you are there on this. So just the fact that there is, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people who are there every time, no matter what happens, that is inspiring. You may feel कि मेरे को कौन देख रहा है? No one talks to me also. No, but they're watching. Right? So it's very inspiring. So persistence is inspiring to devotees also. So now let us just discuss quickly, what does it mean to be persistent in bhakti? Bhakti में persistence का परिभाषा क्या है? What is the meaning of being persistent in bhakti? Anybody would like to share? What does it mean to be persistent in bhakti?
Krishna.
Yes, Guru.
Persistence means whatever our acharyas or gurus has told us to do, so we do it persistently, like chanting of means 16 rounds, or if possible attending Mangala Aarti, or if that is not possible, like you attending Sunday programs. So whatever you do, you have to be persistent. Or I would give a more example, like persistent to attend Friday program of Sanatan Dham.
Okay.
What way? So this is also persistence. So this is what.
Anything else? Anybody else? Any other thoughts on persistence? Thank you, Boo. Any other thoughts?
To follow the principles of bhakti with enthusiasm, determinations.
Follow the principles of bhakti with enthusiasm and determination. Yes, very good. Such as principles such as
Prabhuji has said, trying to get the association of the devotees, then do the regular chanting rounds without any deviations.
Okay.
And follow the regulative principles. Try to get prasadam, or so many principles of bhakti. So
yeah.
So that should be done with very great determinations and enthusiasm. There should not be.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Any other points? Any other thoughts?
Prabhuji, persistence in bhakti may also mean that if we have love for Krishna, we are remembering him for most of the time while doing our activities which are assigned in this world. If we are in the office and there is some challenging task, we assign that to Krishna. Krishna, you take over. I am just an instrument for that. So if we are just having all the activities, trying at least to remember him at every moment, it is not chanting every time, but just be with him type of. So this is also, I think, persistence in bhakti.
Yes. Very good example. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. Like what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 8.7. That therefore at all times thinking of me, perform your duty, fight, So sometimes we may succeed in this, sometimes we may not. But if our intent is to do everything for Krishna, for his pleasure, for Guru's pleasure, if that is our intent in doing our activities, then the Lord will appear in our minds. At the appropriate time, you will remember him. Before you're leaving for office, you will remember him. After reaching office, you'll remember him. When you get stuck somewhere, you'll remember him. He'll come into your memory. So yeah, very beautiful point, Madhi. Thank you. Anything else? Anybody? So what we are discussing right now is what does it mean to be persistent in bhakti? Any other thoughts? All right. So just one important clarification I want to give related to this persistence in bhakti. Okay. Definitely persistence, does means doing our sadhana, right? But the quantity of our sadhana is assumed. That I am doing 16 rounds, I am following 4 regulative principles, I am reading Prabhupada's books, I am, associating with Vaishnavas, whatever service is given to me, I am doing. The quantity is assumed. It is there. So persistence in sadhana, in sadhana bhakti means persistent on high quality of sadhana. Because after some years in bhakti, as you can imagine, there is a peer pressure. You have started chanting 16 rounds, and now you can't go back to saying, oh, I'll do only 4 rounds. Jama nahi mere ko, aaj mere ko mood nahi kiya, main 4 round karega. It's not going to happen. You will chant your 16 rounds. However you chant it, you will chant your 16 rounds. You're not going to give up. Especially those who are initiated, so absolutely will not give up, right? So persistence in bhakti is not just about doing our regulated sadhana, but it is about persisting in increasing the quality of our sadhana. When I am chanting, can I chant with intensity? Right? Rather than just chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare. Can I chant with intensity? Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Intent and intensity. If you show intent in your chanting, then you will be able to chant better. That I'm chanting, my Lord, let me chant nicely. Please empower me. I want to chant nicely for your pleasure. I'm chanting for my guru's pleasure. This is my only service to my guru. So let me chant nicely, right? So if we chant with intensity, we chant with intent, then and we persist at it. Not that एक बार किया और next day वापस spaced out, फिर 5 round किया, फिर बाकी बाकी 11 round spaced out. No, persist, keep trying. It's tiring. Persistence is not easy. You can imagine how tired that dog was, but you can imagine how tired Maya was also. Right? I mean, in that example, that owner was finally he got exhausted कि कितनी बार छोड़ इसको बाहर फेंको, ये वापस आएगा, तो उसने छोड़ दिया, चल ठीक, right? So we have to also be persistent in our sadhana. What we are doing, it may be tiring for us. That's all right. The dog got tired probably, but once he got into Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he was like, wow, he was enjoying in that pool, wasn't he? So we can be persistent in our sadhana by high quality sadhana, intense chanting, reading and hearing. We may be already doing reading, we may be already doing hearing, but reading and hearing attentively. If I come for class, I will not do anything else. Okay, if some of you are doing something else right now, you can stop doing it. So we have to be very consistent, very persistent. If we are here, anyway we have come and joined this class, then we might as well, pay attention. No, why should we waste our time? You might as well, because when you are, what happens is often when lectures are going on, people have lecture going on and they're chanting also simultaneously. That should not be the case. Ideally, if you are listening, you listen. If you are chanting, you chant. It's okay. Don't attend the lecture, but don't do both. Which is why I ask everyone, please keep your video on. Please keep yourself unmuted. Unmuted is fine, but at least keep your video on. So I know that you're there. Your mouth is moving, then I know you're chanting, in parallel. So therefore, when we are doing what we're doing, when we're reading, when we're hearing, we should be attentive. That is the meaning of persistence. And always, not that, when Guru Maharaj is there, no, that time I'm very attentive. But at other times, I don't even come to the class. I don't even attend the lecture. I attend and I do many other things in parallel. No, sir. No, Mataji, no, Prabhuji. It can't be like that. We have to be very, very attentive in our hearing and our reading. Similarly, like Prabhuji said, attendance, regular attendance in programs, right? So here persistence is simply coming for the program. That also is good. If you just turn up every week, just turn up, attend. Yeah, you may be a little spaced out, but if you're just there, that's making a very, very loud statement to the whole world, to the other people who are attending, to your neighbors, to your friends, to your colleagues. That if Friday 12 o'clock means this person is not there, वो phone ही नहीं उठाएगा. She will not pick up her phone. She will not, she will not entertain any guests at that time. And I'm in lecture, right? It's making a big statement. You may not realize it. You may feel, what's the big deal? Oh, it is a big deal. Just attendance itself is a big deal, right? You will be persistent in that. So again, I quote something which one devotee had told. It said that sometimes, your mind may tell you, your mind may tell you that, this bhakti is very boring यार, क्या ये every Friday attend करने का, मैं पक गया हूँ, I don't feel like doing it. You may feel that way, but you have to understand that if your mind is telling you that today take a break, your mind is telling you today you don't give आज आप मत जाओ मंदिर को, don't join the online program, your mind is telling you this, then at that time just drop what you're doing and run to the temple, right? So this devotee was saying that mind will tell you always that no, it's not needed, don't have to be so fanatic, okay, calm down, you're chanting na, how much more you'll do? You're chanting Hare Krishna, you're managing your family, your children's education is there, their college, this, that, dabba, lunch, breakfast, dinner, and so many things are there. My office is there, my business is there. How much I can't keep coming to program every week, Baba? I have other things to do. So you're saying when your mind tells you this, no, at that time just drop everything and run to the temple. So why is that? Because it is Maya's attack. Maya's persistent attack has just come up. She is telling you, see, take it easy. Don't have to be so fanatic about this. No, bhakti is meant to be nice and light. You should enjoy it. It should not be so austere. It should not be so strict. ऐसा वो बंधन में रखा ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए. It should be very nice and calm. This is Maya telling you this. So don't listen to Maya. Be persistent. Get to the temple immediately. Join the online program itself with the video, audio, everything on. No, all my senses need to be fully alert in this, So this is persistence in bhakti, right? We have to be persistent. Another way of being persistent in bhakti is, services. As devotees, I would presume all the 15 of us on this call, all of us are doing our sadhana of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We're all doing our sadhana. Most of us must be coming for the lecture also. Many of us must be, I presume all are following 4 regulative principles. So all this is happening, okay. But not too many of us are willing to come forward and serve. Now, service, very few people like to serve, okay. But a persistent devotee is always searching for service to Guru and Vaishnavas, right? So even if any obstacles are coming in your service, sometimes when you do service, right, amongst Vaishnavas, service is tough. Because you do a service and still someone will, will say something negative to you. They will criticize you. They will discourage you. They will tell you that, "Arey, Prabhuji, aap kaisa kiya? What is this you've done? What a mess you have created." They will discourage you by their words. They'll discourage you by their looks. They will discourage you by their actions. Or they will create millions of obstacles in your path. They will do politics, they will do this, they will do that. So many things could potentially happen when you pick up service. Till you don't do service, no, you're very comfortable. We're in a lovely comfort zone. What do we have to do? Oh, just pick up your bead bag, chant Hare Krishna. That is Kanishta Adhikari. Who doesn't want to do any service, doesn't want to go anything beyond just simply chanting Hare Krishna, paying obeisances to the deity. That is Kanishta. But when we pick up service, that's when all the problems start, right? That's when you start interacting with Vaishnavas. You see that, oh, they're Vaishnavas, but still they have their conditioning. This one has ego, this one has lust, this one has anger, this one has greed, this one has this. And you're like, wow, ये क्या यार, हम लोग भक्ति में ये देखने के लिए आए थे, ये क्या चल रहा है? But no. Again, you have to understand, Vaishnavas are also conditioned living entities like you and me. They also have their problems. They also have their shortcomings. That doesn't mean you stop serving. See, when we chant Hare Krishna, what are we saying? Oh Srimati Radharani, oh dear Krishna, all attractive Krishna, oh Lord Ram, please, please engage me in your service. That is what we are begging for. Now, when we every day we chant Hare Krishna, and if the service manifests, and at that time we say, let Jai Krishna Chandra Prabhu do this. Let Amrit Madhav Prabhu do this. I am very busy, I don't have time. Na Prabhu, you know my schedule. Where I have time to do all this, right? So we have to be very careful that, service will come. If we chant Hare Krishna, service will come. Now, when that service comes, how do we react? Do we do that service? Do we not do it? But just doing the service which came of its own accord, that is great, but that is sadhana. Persistence in service is you go looking for service. You go looking for opportunities to serve Guru, to serve Vaishnavas, even if obstacles are coming. If obstacles come in the path of bhakti, if obstacles come in the path of your service to Guru and Krishna, what should we do? Anybody? Suppose you're doing service, you're trying your best, okay? And all kinds of criticism or obstacles or all kinds of difficulties come in that seva. What should we do? Anybody?
We should continue to do the service.
Chant Hare Krishna and continue.
Chant Hare Krishna and continue. But it's getting too tough here. मेरे दिमाग में तो ये बैठ नहीं रहा है. आई एम नॉट एबल टू डू इट. प्रभु, वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू से, एक लेक्चर में बोल दिया परसिस्टेंट. अरे सेवा करना कितना टफ है मालूम है क्या? So tough it is. Devotees don't encourage. In fact, they pull me down. What I'll do service? Not possible. When I'm stuck, what should I do? How do I
Pray to Guru.
Huh?
Pray to Guru Maharaj.
Write to Guru Maharaj. Wow. Okay.
Not right.
Guru Maharaj,
Pray to Guru.
Suppose you don't have access to Guru, then what do you do?
You take the advice of senior Vaishnava.
We take the advice of senior Vaishnavas. Very simple. See, if you're facing obstacles, first of all, a persistent devotee will find a way. What did the dog do when the person was throwing him out of the water? What did he do? Anyone notice that?
He went around and tried to find another way.
Found another way. He went from behind. But the owner again threw him out. And still he kept trying till finally he said, "Chal, theek hai, kar baba, tu swimming kar," right? So similarly, a persistent devotee will find a way. If he or she is unable to find a way, then what do? We take guidance. We take guidance from somebody that, okay, I'm stuck here. What should I do? We take guidance from senior Vaishnavas. If you have access to Guru Maharaj, we take advice from Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, I'm stuck here. Tell me what I should do. Especially if it is a problem involving senior devotees only are causing problem, right? It can happen sometimes like that. So if senior devotees only causing a problem, then kiske paas jaye? Then you have to go to the big boss. You have to go to Guru Maharaj. That please, aap batao kya kare? I'm stuck. I want to do this service, but I'm not being allowed to do it. Please help. And if guidance also is not helping, then we take help. First we try on our own, then we take guidance and we try again. If guidance and we try again is also not helping, then we take help. We approach senior devotee, Baba, you come, you tell me what to do. You help me sort this situation out. But I want to serve my Guru. I want to serve the Vaishnavas. I want to serve Sri Krishna. I'm not going to give up. If we are persistent like that, Krishna will make a way for you. He will create the path for you. He will give you the enthusiasm to serve. He will give you the taste for service. You need to be persistent. All right. Similarly, we have to be persistent in trying to please the Guru and Vaishnavas, even if we are struggling. Sometimes we may be struggling in our bhakti, but we should be persistent. That no, even if I am in trouble, even if I am having difficulties, my mission of life is to serve my Guru, to serve the Vaishnavas. So I must not stop. So that is persistence. Similarly, there's one more important aspect. Persistence in Vaishnava etiquette. Everyone knows what is Vaishnava etiquette. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that this Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament on the body of a Vaishnava. That how do we behave with each other? How do we behave when we come to the center? How do we behave when we are, in the association of devotees, or even in the association of our wife and children? If they are also Vaishnavas, we have to behave like a Vaishnava with them also. Hello. Right? Sometimes we take our wife and children very much for granted, and these other Vaishnavas, we are very strict and we are very holy and very, very careful. Vancha kalpataru bhishcha kripa sindhu. The moment we see, and with our children and wife and or children and husband, we are very casual. Chalta hai, they'll understand. No. So Vaishnava etiquette means the proper standard of behavior, come what may. Come what may. Whether you are in good situation or bad situation, you have to be persistently behaving like a Vaishnava. Whether you are in temple or you are in, in a bus driving towards your office, you will not behave like a non-Vaishnava just because you're not in Vaishnava clothes, not wearing, tilak and dhoti kurta. Doesn't mean that we can certainly become nasty, karmi kind of people. We have to be persistent in Vaishnava etiquette. You have to be behaving like Vaishnavas at all times, 24/7. That is persistence in sadhana bhakti. Everyone okay? And it's not easy. Of course, I'm not saying it's easy, because sometimes, unfortunately, we have great persistence. Many of us have persistence, but not in bhakti. We are persistent in our regressive habits. If we have bad habits, we're very persistent in them. उसमें अपने को कोई बोल, there's no need for lecture, no need for Shridama Sakha Das to come and tell कि अरे you need to be persistent in in your bad habits. एकदम naturally, it comes very naturally to us. We will keep on doing it because nobody has caught us. Nobody. Guru Maharaj has not come and told, "Arey Prabhu, what you are doing? This is what I taught you, to sit with your mobile phone for 4 hours a day. Is this what I taught you? Is this your sadhana?" Guru Maharaj has still not come and caught you. No senior Vaishnava has caught you in the act. Very persistent. This is the problem that we have. We have double standards. We have one standard of behavior that we show to the Vaishnavas and another that we have for ourselves. So these regressive habits, if we are persistent, they affect our bhakti. Because if you have bad habits, suppose you're stuck to the phone for whatever, I'm not even going to what you're doing on your phone, but you're stuck on the phone for 4 or 5 hours a day, right? What does it do? It keeps us steeped in Maya. We'll be like that, kya bolte usko? Jalebi, everyone knows jalebi. Jalebi ko after frying, they dunk it in sugar syrup and they keep it there, right? And then they remove it after a long time. So that you're like steeped in, you're like dubowed in Maya. Someone has dunked you in a pool of Maya. If you stick to your bad habits, you're steeped in Maya. We are entertained, but we become dull. Because the entertainment, modern day entertainment, everything moves very fast. Screens are changing every few seconds. That's why lectures are boring, no? Because nothing is happening. Speaker is just sitting there, he's just talking. I can switch off my video. I can do what I want. Unfortunately, on this, you don't have 2x speed. I've seen people watching YouTube videos with 2x speed because it's too boring to hear it in normal speed. So they listen in 2x speed, right? But in this live Zoom lecture, unfortunately, 2x speed available नहीं है. नहीं तो वो भी कर लेते हैं. अरे जल्दी करो यार, खत्म करो, end the lecture quickly. How long are you going to go on? So it's very important that we have to realize that what impact this is having. We are being dulled by this high level of activity, and we are steeped. And the other thing that happens is if we have these kind of habits, they don't allow us to develop taste for bhakti, right? It makes us feel, the more we develop taste for these materialistic forms of entertainment or time pass or whatever you may call it, right? More we develop taste for these things, the more we will start finding bhakti tasteless. We will find bhakti boring. So these regressive habits that we have to be very careful that we lose them quickly. Don't hold on to them, because by that your bhakti will start slipping away. Also, sometimes when we see this kind of materialistic things, they convince us that I am right. I am right. I am doing what I'm doing is perfectly all right. And we lose touch with the essence of bhakti, which is what? To deepen our surrender. If we are not persistent and we are persistent with our bad habits, if we stick to it, see how long, His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu, some of you may know who he is, brahmachari from our temple. He gives the example of the tree of life. He talks of a tree of life. I don't know if I can draw it here. Let me check 1 second. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji, whiteboard, right?
Whiteboard, you can see, right? So he makes the drawing of a tree. Okay, this is a tree, and on this tree there's big, massive, massive branches, and very, very, very big tree. Okay, very big tree with many, many branches, many, many birds, many birds and many fruits and everything. Okay, this is the big tree, and this is the ground. Okay, this is the ground. Now what do you think he draws below the ground? This is the root of the tree. Okay, so what is this root? This root, and it is only till here. The root is only till here. What is the future of this tree? Anybody? A tree which is this big, but has such shallow roots and such thin roots.
Root has to be strengthened.
Huh?
Root has to be
Next
strengthened.
rain, it will uproot
Root
itself.
has to be strengthened. Means
Yeah, it will be uprooted. Slightest wind, it will be uprooted, right? Slightest gale, storm that comes, it will be uprooted because the roots are so weak. So what he was saying is that for a devotee who's been in bhakti for many, many years, 15, 20, 25 years, they become like this big tree. Everyone is seeing the tree with big branches and so many designations, so many services apparently. But under that, no nourishment is happening because the roots have not gone deep. In our bhakti, if you are not chosen to go deep, you are chosen to remain shallow. You choose to remain shallow, one day a gale will come, a wind will come, which will uproot your tree of bhakti. Right? So being persistent in bad habits, okay, and not deepening our surrender. Deepening our surrender means what? It means these roots have to go deep. If we go deep in our surrender, then definitely we will be able to make much better progress, and we can nourish so many people. The big tree can nourish so many people. But if that tree has weak roots, then who can take shelter of such a tree, right? So this is the negative habits. If we are persistent, then we lose the essence of bhakti, which is deepening our surrender. So this is the thing we spoke about. So what are the benefits of this persistence? So I'll end with this, and we can take maybe a few questions or comments. So what are the benefits of this persistence? First of all, this process of bhakti, okay, it will, if we just follow sadhana bhakti, we say, right, ado shraddha tata sadhu sangha tata bhajana kriya tata anartha nivritti syad nishtha tata ruchi, right? So just by following the process of bhajana kriya, sadhu sangha and bhajana kriya, what happens? It leads us to a point of anartha nivritti. What is anartha nivritti? It means we are able to get rid of our lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion. We're able to get rid of this. They don't trouble us anymore. A sense object may come in front of us and we're not affected. Earlier, how we would be affected when we saw a sense object? Dhyayato vishayam pumsam sangaste upajayate sangat sanjayate kamat kamat pogabhijayate. Right? We will be agitated, angry, I want, but you're not getting, you become very frustrated. You lose your intelligence. But now, anartha nivritti means you are freed from anarthas, you're liberated from anarthas. This is the first fruit or the first dividend. Your dividend, when you put money in shares, you get a dividend from that company. The first fruit or first dividend that we get from, of course, there are many others, but tangibly, people want to see something tangible. Tangible, anartha nivritti. If we are persistent, if we show persistence in bhakti, we will receive anartha nivritti as the first fruit. It is like, it's like planting a tree, it's like planting a tree and caring for it for years. Like, my wife is very heavily into, this farming and permaculture and those kind of things. And you plant, like we have a small plot. You plant a tree there. You plant a mango tree. You plant a coconut tree. Minimum 7 years before the first mango manifests on that. And in that period, you need to keep watering the tree. Just keep on watering. Keep putting some, organic manure. Keep ensuring that there's not too much pests around, and too much sunlight, too much rain. You have to keep an eye on it all the time. After 7 years, 10 years, once the first fruits start coming, then there are so many fruits, you'll be overwhelmed. You'll not be able to eat. That many mangoes will come from the tree, right? You're forced to give it away because sab kharab ho jayega. It gets spoiled. So this is what bhakti is also like. You have planted this bhakti, bhakti lata beej, you have planted it and you're watering it through the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Through associating, through reading books attentively, persistent, you're sticking to it. I'm not getting taste, doesn't matter, I will do it. I'm getting galis when I'm doing service, doesn't matter, I will serve. When I chant, my mind goes here and there, doesn't matter, I will try to improve my chanting. Persistent. If you're persistent and you stick to it, one day when the fruit comes, then it is unlimited. So that persistence, after that, it is not persistence. After anartha nivritti syad nishtha, you get firm faith. And after that, you get ruchi, you get taste. When you get taste, then what is the challenge? If you're getting mangoes to eat, then does someone have to tell you, please water the mango tree? Please ensure you're watering the mango tree. No, then you'll be fighting. No, I'll water the mango tree. Otherwise, till then you're telling, hey, beta, you do it. Beta, you go and do it. Oh, Mali, tum pani dalo. But we don't want to do it. But once you taste the fruit, after that you feel very enthusiastic. But today, I will water the fruit. I will water the tree. That is what it is. Once we get that ruchi, bhava, asakti, we get these things. These are the blessings that come by persistence. If persistence, and then persistence is not difficult, it's very easy. It's like a smooth highway. After that, you're not climbing a slope, it's like going down the slope. It's very easy, right? When we receive the blessing of taste, attachment, and finally prema. So I'll end with this thing. That the story that had been told by our Braj Bihari Prabhu, one of our brahmacharis. Some of you may have seen him, heard him, wonderful devotee. So he had told that life is like a boxing match. Everyone has seen a boxing match. So in the boxing match, Maya is your opponent. Maya is your opponent, and she is hitting you one upper hook, one lower hook, one jab, one this, one punch, dab, doop, and every few seconds you are falling down. Hasha, bhusha, we all fall down. Dhaad se gir gaya. But again, the person holds the ropes and again somehow gets up and again continues the fight. Again, Maya knocks him out. Bang, 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 dah. But again, this person gets up. Again, he tries to fight. Again, she tries to fight. Doesn't give up. Keeps trying. Getting smashed by Maya, but not giving up. Somehow again getting up, again fighting. So a beautiful point that Brajbihari Prabhu made is that life is also like that. Maya will keep knocking you out. But you should not give up. You should persist. Keep getting up again. Pick up your beads, call some devotee, sit with them and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If you are persistent like this, he said, in the boxing match, like in the boxing match, in the end, the referee comes, hold both hands and lifts the winner's hand. He says, even if you have been knocked out 100 times by Maya, simply because you persisted on the path without giving up, at the end, Krishna will be holding one hand of Maya and one hand of yours, and he will lift your hand. You will win that fight, right? And that is what is our hope. We have to be very hopeful. The Lord is not an accountant that he keeps count of everything you did. If you're a karmi, he keeps count. He doesn't keep. Yamraj keeps. But if you're a devotee, he is looking at how persistent you are, how sincere you are in your bhakti. If you are persistent, he will surely reward you with the gift of pure prema bhakti, either in this lifetime itself or at the end of life, or even if he gives after million lifetimes, like Mukunda said, we are not going to give up, my Lord. The Lord is looking for that sincerity in us. All right, so I'll end here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo.
Hari Hari Bo.
Hare Hare Bo.
Any questions, comments, anybody?
Show you one
Yes,
letter I have just seen of Prabhupada's letter to, I'm forgetting to return. So there Prabhupada said that when you are doing farming of cashew nut, walnut or almond, so there it takes a lot of time to, because they are very precious plants, or the fruits are very precious. So it takes a lot of time to get the fruits. So he's written to one of his, so like when you're doing this bhakti also, so means it takes, fruit is very, very precious. So that letter, I think I have read it in 2-3 days back. So just same has come to my mind after listening on this wonderful lecture, mind-boggling, and that means.
Thank you, Prabhu. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? Anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Thank
Prabhu.
you very much for the wonderful, inspirational lecture. Actually, we need this regularly to keep us motivated in bhakti. Because as you rightly mentioned, like for those devotees who are in India, like who has got regular association, it's relatively easy. For us, it is it is sometimes difficult, like with the kind of responsibilities we have. Somehow, with the mercy of all the senior Vaishnavas like yourself, Guru Maharaj, Lord Sri Krishna, we are somehow managing. So we pray for your mercy, we pray for your blessings. That's it, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Actually, my hypothesis is that those who are in remote locations like this, who don't have access to a temple, they are far more intense in their bhakti than anybody else, because they are so desperate. They are like so hungry, so thirsty. कि कुछ भी मिला तो hold on to it. Even if a fool like me comes and speaks, you all are very inspired. Whereas same thing in a temple where there are thousands of devotees, people take it for granted. Gopinath is here only. What's the big deal? Oh, this brahmachari I know. I came before him in bhakti. We take for granted. But those who are staying remote, always take whatever they're receiving with such gratitude, and with such love that, I believe that devotees who are remote are in one sense well placed. Yes, because you really value what you are receiving, and Krishna is very pleased with that. That's my view. But anyway, thank you for sharing. Prabhu. Anybody else? Any questions or any comments? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, what are the symptoms that if one is not persistent in his bhakti? This first question. Second question is how to inspire a devotee to be persistent in the bhaktis. I know that some of the things have already been covered in your class, but if you can state some few top things in both the things, symptoms as well as how to inspire a devotee to be persistent in bhakti.
So you're saying symptoms of someone who is not persistent or someone who is persistent?
Someone is not persistent.
Not persistent. Someone is not persistent, symptoms are not very difficult. I mean, first of all, you'll stop seeing them in the program. Right? And whenever you call them to follow up, they'll have some story. They'll have some excuse, why they can't do it. Then, this again, Rajbihar Prabhu had given 4 hours of a fall down. I don't remember, I may not remember them. He says, first is reduction. They reduce their sadhana, okay? They stop coming to the temple, or, they're chanting 16 rounds, but they don't chant attentively. They're chanting 16 rounds, they start chanting 8 or 10 or 14. So there's reduction. Now, when the second symptom of a fall down is when you catch them and you go to them, Prabhu, we don't see you anymore. Prabhu, your chanting is not very good. You're not chanting attentively. You're not chanting clearly. You're just mumbling something. You catch them, then the second R comes, which is reasoning. They start reasoning with you. They start justifying their behavior. Right? And they say, ki, let me see. I'm forgetting the third R. So anyway, the second R is reasoning. Okay, they start reasoning with you. That, I'm very regular, Prabhu. What you're saying? I've been coming. The last few weeks, I've been going through a tough phase. My job has increased. My business is very tough. My family is troubling me. Blah 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 blah. So they start reasoning. The third R, I'm forgetting what the third R was. I'll get it. But the fourth R is the worst, which is restless. Okay. Actually, let me pull it out. Let me see if I can find it. No, it's not on this machine. So I'm using my wife's laptop actually today, so it's not here. But I'll send it to you all. I'll send it to Param Krishna Prabhu. I'll send it to you all. There are 4 R's. So basically, restless is where they are not able to do anything. While chanting, they cannot chant without a phone in the hand. They cannot chant without a newspaper or TV going on. They just finish it off. So these are the 4 symptoms of a fall down. So if someone is not persistent in bhakti, the first symptom is basically that they stop associating with devotees. And, then all the other things we start seeing that, they have bad habits, they spend too much time on phone, too much of eating out, too much of this, too much of that. You start seeing these symptoms. Unfortunate, if we see it, Then that was the second question, right? If we see someone who's become not so persistent, how do we handle it? So if we see someone who is kind of slipping away, okay, the first thing is when we meet them, don't make them feel guilty. That is the biggest mistake we do. If someone is not persistent, someone is not coming to the program, first thing, Arey Prabhuji, we don't see you only nowadays. Where are you? You know, are you in Maya? We don't ask such, we should not ask such questions. Okay. We should be very gentle, very loving. That devotee should feel safe in your association. You know, just very lovingly, Prabhuji, how are you? Nice to see you. Kaise chal raha hai? How are things? Just start a conversation. Start a conversation. Ask them, how are things? And say, yeah, you know, things are hectic. You know, I have been, you know, मेरा job में ऐसा चल रहा है, मेरा family का ये problem है, मेरा health खराब है, ये है, वो है. So you will already start getting some background that why this person has become less persistent, right? So then you say, yeah, that sounds like a major issue. Is that the reason why you're not been able to come for a long time? Yeah, this is the problem. So yeah, we're missing you. You just say we're missing you. It'll be lovely to have you back. You know, I hope you can get over this issue quickly and come back. So that makes them feel very accepted. They don't feel guilty. If you make a devotee feel guilty, next time will they want to come in front of you? No. It's simple, no? If I make you feel angry, I make you feel sad, I make you feel guilty, I make you feel, you know, whatever, any negative emotion I associate with Amrit Madhav Prabhu. After that, if Amrit Madhav Prabhu approaches me again, and or I know that I am going to a wedding and Amrit Madhav is going to be there, I'm like, boss, I'll go a little early or I'll come very late. I don't want to be there when he's there, right? That's how we start behaving. And that's how devotees behave. We start making them feel guilty, they will never come to the program. They won't. So the best way when someone is slipping, we go there, we encourage them, give them a lot of love, lot of support, and mildly just suggest that we are missing you. It will be nice if you can, you know, start coming again. There is that story, you know, about that person who gets separated from the community, and one member of the community comes to his house, and he takes, there's a firewood going on there, there's a big fireplace. So in that fireplace he takes one log of wood which is burning bright, and he keeps it aside. He doesn't say anything, he just picks up that log and keeps it on the side. And after some time that log stops burning. It gets extinguished, right? And then after some time, that man picks up that small log and again puts it where the fire is. Again, the log starts burning. Now the man doesn't say anything. He just does this. And when he's leaving, this person, he says, I understood. He says that, very beautifully, without saying a word, you have illustrated to me what is the importance of association of devotees. Because if I'm not in the association of devotees, alone, ekantiki hare bhakti is not possible. I will lose my flame. I will lose my fire. So therefore, it is important for me to stay in association of devotees. And even if I've lost my fire, if I come back in association of fire of the devotees, again the fire will be rekindled. So we have to do that for Vaishnavas. We have to very gently, lovingly, patiently, if we see someone is slipping, lovingly bring them back to the fold. We can't, bang them on the head. Hey, Prabhu, what is this? What are you doing? That doesn't work. Does that answer your question, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else?
Thanks for a nice discourse, Prabhuji.
Shall we stop? We're almost at the end of our time. So, anything else? Anybody? All right. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay.
The recording. Thank you.